All right, in this video today, we're going to talk about the 6 different parts to a homeowner policy. Now, I know we had another video, we talked about the 6 different basic types of policies. This one, we're going to talk about the different coverage parts. Now, depending on the type of policy you have and what you have purchased, you may not have all of these, but for this conversation, we're going to talk about a homeowner policy, and it will have all 6 of these different pieces to it. Basically 6 different parts. One of the primary ones is going to be your coverage A that we usually refer to it as. And all that means is just that is your dwelling. Now where we get that coverage A, coverage B that you'll hear me talk about, that's actually inside the policy language itself. If you're ever having a hard time falling asleep, pull out one of those and I promise you it will put you to sleep. But fortunately you got me to sit here and tell you a little bit about it and to kind of break it down, make it a little bit simpler for you. So coverage A is your dwelling. That's the actual house itself. That's the structure, the counting from the walls to the sheetrock or the paneling or whatever else you have on the walls, the floor coverings, the ceiling, the appliances that are actually installed, such as your central heating and air conditioning system. All that's included inside of that dwelling coverage amount that's called coverage A. That limit that you have in there is going to help set the other limits for your other structures, personal property, loss of use. Those are all going to be a percentage of coverage A. So coverage B is the next one that's listed on your policy, and it is other structures coverage. Now what exactly is other structures? That's going to be a shed you've got. That's going to be fencing. Let's say you have an antenna or a satellite dish. It's going to cover that. Let's say that you've got a gazebo outside in your backyard or something like that. Or maybe a pool, a swimming pool. That's all going to be covered underneath those other structures coverage. So you'll make sure that you've got enough insurance included in that to protect those other structures. The next thing is going to be your personal property. It's another word to call it contents. But the thing is that we don't usually refer to it as contents because everything is not contained inside of your house. So this is your personal property. Think of it like that. What all is your personal property? Well, that's your clothes, your furniture, your television, any collectibles you have. Maybe you're an avid hunter. That would be the guns that you have, or maybe you have jewelry. That's going to be your jewelry you have. Keep in mind that some things have sublimits, such as guns and jewelry, furs, or maybe silverware. Those things have lower sublimits to those items. So you want to talk to your agent and review your policy. Make sure you have enough coverage there. You may need to schedule that, is what we call it. What are some other things that are your personal property? Well, what about your lawnmower, or maybe your other garden tools that you may have, or maybe you have some sort of a ATV device for your children, or those are different things that are going to fall underneath personal property that maybe are outside, maybe garden tools or things like that, or maybe you have a fire pit outside that you enjoy, or patio furniture. All that stuff is going to fall underneath personal property. That's usually about 50% of your coverage A amount. So just make sure you've got enough coverage there for that. The next thing is loss of use. Now, loss of use is something that a lot of people don't understand that they have, but loss of use is coverage so that if your home is not livable because of a covered claim, this is money the insurance company is going to pay to you so that you can stay somewhere else. Now, all of us have friends and family that offer to have us come stay with them if something bad happens. Say you have a fire or something like that. You have structural damage to your home because of some sort of a claim. It could take you months to get that repaired so that you can get back to live in your house. Now, it's nice to go stay with your family for the weekend, but you don't want to stay with them for months. So you can depend on this loss of use coverage so that you can have maybe rent money or additional gas money or extra food money so that you can stay somewhere else and live there until your home becomes livable again. This is an excellent coverage. Make sure that you have adequate coverage here, to take care of those things, because you don't want to go stay with your family. Family is like fish. It's great when it's fresh, but whenever it gets old, it smells terrible. So maybe you got great family. I got great family, but hey, still, who wants to live with them for 2 months? The next thing is going to be your liability coverage. We're kind of moving out of the property coverages and moving into what's called the liability coverages. Now, liability is for third party. This is not coverage for you and your family. Specifically, if one of them were to get hurt, that would be health coverage. But let's say that someone comes to visit you and they fall and hurt themselves. They determine that it's your fault somehow or another that they were injured, and they bring a claim against you. Well, you can file it underneath your liability insurance so that those medical bills, expenses can be paid underneath that. Now, let's say that you're not at fault, but still you just want to take care of it. Well, that's where you go to medical payments coverage. It's a no-fault coverage that's included under your policy. Usually it's $5,000, $1,000, or maybe even $10,000. And you can file underneath that for damages, or I should say medical damages, for somebody that hurts themselves. Let's say that they're coming to your house, they trip over the threshold, they don't have the ability to maybe take care of whatever medical bills they have. You can file it underneath here and take care of that for them. So that's the 6 different coverages that you can find inside of your homeowner policy. Feel free to reach out to us, call us, text us, email us, message us on Facebook or whatever. We'll be glad to help you out in any way we can. Make sure that you review your coverages with your current agent and make sure that they have taken the time to educate you and to tell you about the different coverages that are in there. Make sure that you're adequately covered. We'll spend some time talking about some other topics such as replacement costs versus ACV, or the different types of policies that you can purchase, and also other different endorsements that you can get. So always feel free to reach out to us. Thank you for watching.